That is Brooks Winsdale.
Trinity Cooper. And number 59.
Coach Blight Winsdale's son.
Yep, sure is.
Captains for the Tarpons tonight. Number 53.
Can't wait. This is going to be a good ball game.
Number 4, Josiah Stroson. And homecoming king.
We
number 26.
didn't get any audio there. Our coin toss brought to you by State Bank. We'll get South Lafourche having the football first.
South Lafourche first. Give it up for Mr. Galicia. What a great coin toss.
A huge crowd on hand tonight.
Yeah, it is.
I would say this is one of the biggest home crowds we've had here in a while.
Yes, sir. Cannot wait. This is going to be a fun one tonight. Not that there's ever a Friday night where we're not having fun, but this is going to be a fun one tonight. District opener. Schools that mirror one another. Tarpon's trying to get to 3-1. They're having fun on the sideline right now. I could see the old school in you. Your skin is crawling. You don't like all that dancing.
Not one bit. Not one bit.
Tarpons will get the ball first. Looks like we're actually on pace to start a little before 7 o'clock tonight. It'll be the usuals. We've got Alamal, Petrie, and Angelette. That'll be back deep. Let's have some fun here tonight. For the Gators kicking off, we got, what is that, 22?
23.
23. So that is Michael Gutierrez.
The kicker's looking right at their sideline.
Parents' feet back to return.
I don't know if something with the arm, I think I'll push it to that side.
Kicking off,
We'll find out in just a second, won't we?
The Gators.
Because we're underway. It is a line drive kick that'll be fielded by the Tarpons at the 5-yard line. That is Angelette working up the field. He's hit and dropped at the 12. Boy, good special teams work by the Gators to open up the game, and the Tarpons are buried deep in their own territory.
Not much blocking from the Tarpon special teams unit right there. They had about 6 guys all clumped together and not one white jersey around them.
So here comes Carson Ogeron leading his team out to the field. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Meathead will be in the backfield with him. That's, of course, Landon Dardar. Tarpons will be in the gun. Ball smack dab in the middle of the field. Tarpons are going down the bye to up the bye, right to left. Ogeron hands it to Dardar up the middle. Nice gain across the 15. He's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards. So a good first down gain for the Tarpons. Pick up of about 5.
Gators in a 4-man front to start the game. Tarpon coaching staff is pretty confident they can move the football on them running it.
Second and 5 for South Lafourche. Still a long way to go. Trips to the left side of the field. Ogeron will throw a swing pass out to Alamo, who was crushed. Number 17, Barone Martin, made the tackle, and that's going to be a loss of a yard or 2.
That was close to being a pick 6.
Yeah, it was.
It broke on the ball.
Yes, it was. So to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Tarpons on their first offensive possession of the game. We did start sooner than 7 o'clock. Still not 7 o'clock. Can the Tarpons convert an early 3rd down here? Ogeron the gun. Straight drop. Flushed out. Has a receiver, and he's going to just throw that one up towards the sideline, incomplete. While looking down the field, the Gators had great coverage that time. No one was open. Carson just kind of flung it out of bounds there. So it'll be a quick 3 and out for the Tarpon offense. A good job by the Gator defense holding up.
The Gators on defense in that passing situation had about 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, all of them backed up a yard and standing up. And just letting the Lafourche offense just stand blocking no one. Carson had a lot of time to throw, but he had good coverage downfield.
Brock Price is standing at the Tarpon 40-yard line, so the Gators think they're going to get excellent field position here off Nicholas Coleman's punt. Coleman gets the snap. It's a high snap. They're coming, and they nearly block it. The punt gets away, and it'll be muffed, and the Tarpons are fighting for the ball, and I think they've got it. Oh, the Gators came away with it. So South Terrebonne does recover the muff. They'll take over at their own 49-yard line. But, boy, what a kick. Coleman was under some pressure, and he let off a very, very good one there.
Price.
Thanks, Dominic.
Yeah, Price fumbled the ball, and Tarpons almost recovered it. I think they had it almost for a second. Price just took it away at the last second.
Breeze Blanchard leads the Gators out onto the field. He was not their opening day starter. That was number 9, Trey Pinell, but he's in a sling. Gators will get a closed-up shotgun set. Strong side of the field to the left. Man in motion. That's Bro. High snap. And Blanchard will roll out and make a mistake. He should have thrown that ball away. Instead, he takes a big loss. Back to the 42-yard line. Haven Green on the stop. The young quarterback there needs to understand once it's a fire drill, you put that ball in the stands, and then it would be 2nd and 10. Instead, it'll be 2nd and about 17.
Yeah, when he got the ball, he rolled out the pocket. He should have just threw the ball away, like you mentioned, in the stands, and would have saved his team about 7 yards.
Boy, an inauspicious start for the Gator offense with a bad snap on the first play. 2nd and long. Another high snap, but this one they get a little swing pass out to the flats and caught and tackled really for not much gain. Braden Bro makes the reception, but Commodale's there on the stop, no gain, and it'll bring up 3rd and long. And that Tarpon defense continues to be mean.
That time the Gators sent someone in motion to the wide side of the field. They actually had the Tarpons outnumbered, but Maddox Commodale did a good job coming up from a safety spot to make that tackle.
4 receivers set. 3 of them on the right side of the field. Tarpons are showing a blitz, and they have just given the Gators 5 free yards. Jumped into the neutral zone, so instead of 3rd and 17, it'll be 3rd and 12. And that was encroachment on a couple of guys that time. A couple of Tarpons got a little overzealous. Makes it a little bit more manageable for the Gators, but the biggest thing they're going to have to do, they're going to have to protect Blanchard because we know that front's coming. 3rd and 12. 9:48 to go in the opening quarter. We're just underway from Galliano. Blanchard gets the snap. Has time. Now the pocket collapses, and he throws it caught near the first down sticks. That might be a first down, depending on the spot. The Braden Bro, they're marking what looks to be about a yard short. And this is a tough play call, because if you just run the ball right up the middle here, it's going to be tough to get a yard against that Tarpon front. But it is 4th and 1. Crowd making some noise. Gators are in the gun. Blanchard waiting on the snap. It's a sweep. And they don't have it. No, sirree, Bob. We told you it would be hard to run for a yard against this Tarpon defense, and they swallowed that play up whole. Turnover on downs. The Tarpons will take over the 43-yard line. You just got to know from watching the first 3 games, running for a yard is going to be tough against these guys, man.
Yeah, and look, the Gators tried to get them outnumbered on the right side, but if they're going to run that play again, that little sweep, they're going to have to block on the backside. Tarpons caught them from behind.
So with 9:09 to go, the Tarpons take over with much better field position this time at their own 43. Ogeron with a 4-receiver shotgun set. Inside handoff to Dardar, picking through the line. Big old hole. The ball's falling across midfield. Gain of about 7 or 8 for Dardar that time. It'll bring up 2nd and about 2 or 3.
Tackles made by number 45, Trinity Dupree.
Dupree on the stop for the Gators, but boy, that Tarpon offensive line getting a nice push early.
2nd and 2, Tarpons.
Tarpons are in plus territory for the first time tonight. 2nd and 3. Ogeron waiting on the shotgun snap. He'll keep it. Design quarterback run. Nice gain across the 45. Calls the 41. Gain of about 9. It's a Golden Motors first down. That's very ABC football there. Just a little single wing. Snap it to the quarterback. Follow the line forward. Pick up 8-9 yards. It's a Golden Motors first down.
Yeah, design run straight at the Gators.
8:17 and counting for the Tarpons, who have their most promising offensive possession to date. Ball right in the middle of the field. Ogeron hands it to Meathead off right tackle. Gets across the 40. It's a smaller gain that time, but he did get about 2.5, 3 yards.
He picked up a couple of yards in the play. 2nd and 8.
Bring up 2nd and 8.
Jaheim
Diggs on the tackle for the Gators that time. Jaheim Diggs, a sophomore.
See the Tarpons go with some type of play action.
Yep, kind of lulling him to sleep with that run. Strong side of the field is now to the left. They got 2 receivers out that way. 2nd and 8. Ogeron play action, rolls out. He's got Berg. How far is he going to run? He's tripped up at the 31-yard line. That's going to be close to a first down.
They're walking about a yard short.
So bring up 3rd and short. And I think we're going to maybe see that I-form set come out here on 3rd and 1. Let's see if I'm right. Nope. It looks like they're going to stay in the gun.
Berg actually made a nice catch, had his hands out in front of him.
Strong side of the field now to the right. 3rd and 1 for the Tarpons. Trips to the left. Now it's not trips as Berg goes to the right side of the formation. Ogeron hands it to Dardar. Big hole and a first down and much more. He's at the 10. He's tripped up at the 7. Good hard running by Landon Dardar. Big old hole by that offensive line. The Tarpons are in the red zone. Of course, that's the Absolute Fitness red zone, playing 1st and goal from about the 6.
Nice job by Dardar. Big, powerful run right up the middle.
Absolutely. Made a couple of shifts on that offensive line, did BJ, but boys, so far paying off. 6:36 and counting. 1st and goal for the Tarpons. Ogeron. Throw it out to the flats. Berg, he's got some blocking. He's trying to turn the corner. He's tripped up at the 4-yard line. Good open field tackle that time. Can't get an ID on number 4, Neville. Because if he doesn't make that tackle, it's 6-0 Tarpons. But a positive gain on 1st down. You get to the 4-yard line. South Lafourche could get a free timeout here if they want, but the heat break's coming in 6 seconds.
Brett Terrence Pete blocking downfield on that last play.
And they're not going to get it off. So that's the heat and humidity break. Exactly 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. It's 0-0, but the Tarpons are driving. We'll be back in 1 minute on ESPN 100.3. Out of the humidity break, the Tarpons play 2nd and goal. I-form set from the right hash. Ogeron will hand it to the 2nd man through. That's Dardar, and he's in for a Tarpon touchdown. South Lafourche's got a big surge. They punch it in, and the Tarpons strike first. It's 6-0, pending the extra point drive. One Mr. Cesar Gonzalez. What a drive for the Tarpons. That's just old school Tarpon bully ball right there, lining up and jamming it down their throat.
Tarpons were confident they could come in and run the football, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Terrence Petrie will hold. Cesar Gonzalez will kick. Snap is there. The kick is up. The kick is right down Broadway. It's 7-0 Tarpons. So, Coach, Tarpon defense kind of got put in a hole a little bit. South Terrebonne started their possession around midfield. You get a big stand, you force a stop, and then, boy, you go at them and go right down the field and score, take the early lead. And now, on homecoming, all the craziness that we talked about before, now you could just kind of just exhale a little bit and play some football.
Yeah, exactly right. Tarpon's go 7 plays, 57 yards, capped off in a 4-yard touchdown run by Gators.
Boy, is he becoming a confident runner or what? Boy, we saw him in the spring a little timid at times, but boy, he's running like an animal now.
That drive, he looked very confident.
Yep.
He ran hard and straight north and south. I mean, he's not trying to fake people out. He's just running people over, going straight at them.
He has certainly made some big strides. The Gators will have their second offensive possession here.
Caleb Moran back to return.
First one ended in turnover on downs. They had a 4th and 1.
Tarpons again, want to take their time on the sideline with special teams.
Well, the play clock hasn't started yet, so they do still have a long time to go.
Yeah, these officials are nicer than me. I would throw that play.
Cesar Gonzalez has the leg to put it to about the 5 or 10 yard line. We'll see if he goes with a pop-up kick or the full shebang here. The Gators have what looks to be Price back deep.
8.
My apologies, Braden Bro. And as well as Price. Yeah, they got a couple of guys back there. Gonzalez bombs away. Good kick. He fielded at the 8-yard line, working up the field across the 20. Hit at the 25 and dropped. A good kick coverage from the Tarpons. Boy, have they gotten better on special teams.
What are we doing?
Little extracurricular. Fortunately, no flags. That'll lead the Gators starting at the 24-yard line. And that's where the Gators will start, playing a 1st and 10.
Correction 45, Talon Dewey on the tackle.
Talon Dewey on the stop that time for the Tarpons.
Yeah, Tarpons did a nice job of going cover that kick.
Second drive of the game for Breeze Blanchard, the sophomore. Has Brody Dupree in the backfield with him. It's a pistol set. Looking to the sideline, getting his final call. Making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Still has 10 on the play clock, so he does have a bunch of time. Snap. Inside handoff. Nothing. Inside running yards are going to be hard to come by against these guys, boy. And one thing that I'm noticing is Big K Nelson's in the lineup tonight. He was a question mark coming in.
True.
He is in the lineup tonight. He's giving it a go. It'll be 2nd and 9. They gained about a half a yard on the run, 5:20 and counting in the opening quarter. Tarpons lead 7-0. Blanchard in the gun. Strong side of the field is slightly to the right. Little bit of a high snap, and it's going to be a pre-snap penalty on South Terrebonne. The receiver out there got a head start. Boy, when you're an offense that's struggling, you don't want to do things like that. Instead of 2nd and 9, it'll be 2nd and 14.
2nd and 16.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Gator offense is designed to get these.
So far this season, it sure hadn't been.
Yeah, to convert these long situations.
Five minutes and counting. Blanchard waiting on the snap. Comes at a hard count. The Tarpons aren't biting. They were trying to get the penalty yards back. Play clock is now down to 6, though, and they're still making adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Got to hurry. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. They didn't get it off. It's going to be a delay of game if they didn't get the timeout.
I think you got a timeout.
Coach Babin gets the timeout, but boy, you were ready at 16, and much like we saw with the Tarpons earlier in the year, just kind of played around. You ended up having to call a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Babin's not very happy right now.
Dominic, what's the vibe like on the sidelines? The Tarpons have an early lead. Everybody seems to be having some fun down there. What's it like?
And $400. So get you half and half, take it at halftime.
Can we get you to dance, perhaps?
Where's that?
Hey, I'm looking myself.
I see him.
It'll bring up 2nd.
There
it goes.
There he
Yeah,
goes.
buddy. Yeah, buddy. Good job, Dominic. 4:42 to go in the opening quarter. The Tarpons have a 4-yard touchdown run from Landon Dardar. That, combined with the extra pointer, the only points in the game.
Dominic, I'm not going to say the number, but you dance better than the third guy from you.
Oh, he dances better than me, too. So. 2nd and 16 as play resumes. Blanchard in the gun. It's a handoff on a sweep, looking to turn the corner. The Tarpons are stringing it out nicely. Very short gain. The handoff was number 8, Braden Bro. Jakias Cresson tripped him up after a gain of about 2 or 3. And partner, this is what you've been talking about all year. Teams would run plays like that last year and would turn the corner. This year, the Tarpons got some speed on defense. Cresson was right there. Make it 3rd and 12. Will they trust the sophomore Blanchard to put it in the air here on 3rd and 12? You would think so.
Yeah, they keep trying to draw the Tarpons offside, trying to slow that rush.
Good luck with that. Play clock down to 6. Tarpons look like they're coming on a blitz. They back away from it. It's a screen. It's caught. And he gets a little block, and he's going to get the first down. Good job by the Gators that time. That's Price. It was a screen. There were a couple of Tarpons that had an angle on him, but the Gators worked their way up the field, and they get a first down to the 38-yard line. Good play.
Looks like the Tarpons were in position to make a tackle, and the guy just froze. Remember that play what they just ran here.
Yeah, that was a big one. 1st and 10 for the Gators. They look to the sideline.
But that receiver could very easily could have pitched it to a guy coming behind him, a little hook and ladder.
See if Coach Babin saw the same thing you did. They've got 2 backs in the gun, strong side of the field to the right. Handoff, trying to turn the corner and get outside. Just ain't happening. The Tarpons are all over it. Going to throw him for a loss. That was number 22 in the carriage. Ricks. He's a freshman. But the Tarpons just don't give up that edge anymore, man. That's going to be another loss. Tackle for loss brought to you by the Terry L. Hunter III Foundation.
And number 75, Aiden Nelson.
You know that you got a good defensive tackle when he's making a tackle on the sidelines, and that's what Cade Nelson just did right there.
And Maddox coming there once again, coming from his safety position. Just waiting for teams on that sweep or a little halfback pass.
Yeah, but they do come up, don't they? 2nd and 12. Blanchard waiting the shotgun snap. He's got trips to the left. Throws out to the flats to the tailback. Now the Tarpons corral to the ball. They're going to get a gain of about 3 or 4. But a good job by the Tarpons rallying that time. Abram Berg was on the tackle. They'll bring up 3rd and about 8. Jarvis was also on the stop.
Yeah, the Gators had a receiver. The ball's passed behind the line of scrimmage. It looked like he was blocking the cornerback, and he just released and ran straight down the field.
And look, dude, on a pass behind the line of scrimmage, you could be blocking as a receiver. That's not offensive interference. 3rd and 8. Bunched up shotgun set. Blanchard throws it to the flats. The tailback's got it again. The Tarpons are going to stop him short of the first down at the 45-yard line. They've got to get to the 49, so it'll be 4th and 4. And it looks like the Gators are going to punt. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. I'd be watching a fake right here on 4th and 4.
And look, Coach Babin is doing a great job in Coach Barber of getting the ball to their guys in space. It's just our guys are quicker right now.
Yeah, Tarpons are flying to the ball. That's been the theme of the season. The punter standing at the 31-yard line. The snap is there. The kick is a high one. Terrence Petrie will call for a fair catch and will make it at about the – nope, actually let it roll. It'll go out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. So the Tarpons will take over there.
That was a nice punt. See where they can spot this ball, Casey. They might.
Yeah, that was a very good punt. And they're going to put it out at –
move it up
I think
or
the
where?
14?
15.
15-yard lines where the Tarpons will take over with a 7-0 lead. 2:02 to go in the first quarter. This game has moved along pretty quickly. That's what happens when you have 2 teams that are playing with not a lot of penalties.
Tarpons got outnumbered. Got the Gators outnumbered this side.
Empty set. They throw a screen to Alamo. Alamo trying to make men miss, and he's going to be dropped very minimal gain. Got about to the 17.
Outside the field, Tarpons had the Gators outnumbered, but Alamo needs to catch the ball and run up the field.
Yeah, did a little bit of dancing there. No doubt. Bring up 2nd and 8. with 137 and counting in the opening quarter. Strong side of the field now to the right. That's where the Tarpons have trips. Alamon's the only receiver flanked out to the left. The Gators have everyone within 5-10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Ogeron straight drop's got a man wide open. It'll be a first down and more to the 28-yard line. That's Bird. Boy, that's just a tough one to stop. You're playing with a 7-yard cushion. Bird runs a 4-yard route, turns around, the ball's there, then works his way up the field. That's just a hard one to stop.
Well, the Tarpons have the Gators outnumbered. So that's easy pickings out there for him.
It'll be first and 10 now from the 28-yard line. Clock inside of a minute in the opening quarter. Strong side of the field now to the left. Man in motion is Alamon. Inside gift to Meathead. Picking through the line. Big hole. Driving near the 35. Falls forward to about the 36. That's a gain of about 8.
Meathead with a carry.
You know, BJ Young has got to be smiling from ear to ear because he's getting 7, 8, 9 yards running the ball right now, and that's what this Tarpon offense wants. Brings up a 2nd and 2.
Gators have no answer to stop the run.
And they just gave him 5 free and a Golden Motors first down. Jorson Neville jumped into the neutral zone. So that'll be a Golden Motors first down via penalty, and the Tarpons will move it across the 40.
We talked about in pregame, the Gators will play games and try and do some stunts. Over anxious that time.
Tarpons don't have to run a play in this quarter if they don't want. There's 16 seconds on the play clock, 30 on the game clock, but they're lined up and ready to go on this 1st and 10. Ogeron gets the snap, hands it off on a stretch run. That's Jarvis. Jarvis is tripped up, and he might have lost a yard or two back on the other side of the 40. So that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. The Tarpons lead 7-0. We'll be back with the second quarter in 1 minute. You're listening to Varsity Football on ESPN 100.3. The second quarter begins with the Tarpons playing a 2nd and 12. Ball at the 38-yard line. Ogeron, straight drop. It's a screen. He's flushed out. He's in a lot of trouble. Looking to throw. He throws it as far as he can out of bounds. There's a flag on the play. There's a bunch of linemen blocking downfield. That's what that penalty is going to be. Easiest one of the night for Mr. Miller tonight. That is. Got Tarpons all the way 10, 12, 15 yards down the field.
Yeah, they had 2 of them downfield.
Now, does Aaron Babin take the penalty or does he make it 3rd and 12? That's the dilemma here. They are going to decline it. 3rd and 12.
Too many men down the field for the penalty.
I don't know, man. With the way
10-yard
12
penalty.
With the way Carson runs, that's a risky one there. Coach Hawkins and Coach Babin rolling the dice, trusting that they could get off the field.
And you're giving the Tarpons 2 plays. Coach Young may go for it right here if need be.
Third and 12. Ogeron. It's bubble screen, and it's deflected at the line. They were trying to get that pass out to Landon Jarvis, and boy, they had some blockers. It looked promising, but it was deflected by Dupree, and the Tarpons left to punt it.
Tarpon receiver's doing a great job of blocking. Abram Berg on that last play did his assignment. He blocked the guy. The screen was open. If it wasn't deflected, like you said, a line of scrimmage, it could have gone.
Coleman will have his second punt of the game. His first one was a beauty from his end zone. He got it across the other side of midfield. Gators got to focus on catching this one. They muffed the first one and nearly turned it over. Snap gets to Coleman. They're coming. They nearly block it. Coleman's kick bounces at the 45. Takes a nice tarpon roll, and it'll be down at the 38-yard line. So the Gators will take over there. South Terrebonne's going to block a punt tonight if the Tarpons don't shore up their protection.
It was very close from being blocked.
And Blanchard and the crew will take the field there. Want to say hello to everyone listening at the Hurricane Festival. I've gotten a couple of texts from some folks saying they're listening live from the Cutoff Youth Center. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their night. Hope everybody stays safe out there tonight. Save me some pastelaya.
Some people were there early in the morning.
1st and 10 for the Gators.
And I'm sure still kicking.
Still kicking. Trips to the right side of the formation. That's the strong side of the field. Blanchard, inside handoff, off right tackle. They get across the 40, just not a whole lot. As Dupree on the carry, gained about 2.
Tackle made by number 26, Abram Bird.
Yeah, the Gators are trying to spread out that Tarpon defense, going into a trip formation wide right that last play, trying to get some better running alley lanes for their backs.
Ball smack dab at the 40, 2nd and 8. Ball right in the middle of the field. They've got 2 receivers on each side. Blanchard waits on the snap. He's got it. They'll throw a little slant. That's incomplete. And boy, if number 8, Dre Hughes, would have played the ball, not the man, he could have maybe picked that one off. But you got to assume the pass is going to be accurate and play the man. He didn't know.
No, right.
Good coverage. I like number 8, Dre Hughes. I think he's going to be a player. He's a 10th grader. He's very coachable. You saw here immediately he was taking some coaching from Coach Gauger after that one. He's a player. 3rd and 8 for the Gators.
One-on-one coverage down here.
An offense that has struggled all year. Can they find a little confidence here? Blanchard is in the shotgun. The play clock down to 8, looking towards the sidelines. They've already used 1 timeout. And it might have to be a second, but the play clock's down to 2, down to 1, and they will call their second timeout.
Timeout, Gators.
So they've got 1 remaining. We'll keep it right here because I want to go to the scoreboard. We want to get you some scoreboard updates brought to you by 3T Oil, home of the drive-through oil change. Let's see. I could tell you that Terrebonne leads HL Bourgeois 14-7 in the first quarter. Let's see how bad E.D. White's moving.
We actually have a guy at the game that should be giving us some scores.
We sure do, because I'm following his Twitter. Tyler Smith, 14-7 E.D. White in the first quarter.
That's not who I was talking about.
Oh, well.
The big Rock of the Bayou was going to the
Rock's
game.
going to E.D. White?
He has a relative playing that starts off in E.D. White.
Wow, okay. Well, Rock, yeah, give us some updates, man. If you brought your Walkman and you're listening, give us some updates. 3rd and 8 here. That's why E.D. White's so doggone good. They got a relative of Rock on the field. Tarpon show blitz. They're coming. And down he goes. Number 6, Max Vedroff. Excuse me, number 5, Miles Stelter. Well, both of them, 5 and 6, made a sandwich. They buried Breeze Blanchard. Big loss. Another 3 and out, and boy, that Tarpon defense ain't playing no games tonight, Bubba. Tons of pressure, and they crushed them on that one. Set up another punt situation for the Gators.
4th and long, the Gators will punt.
Yeah, look, when it's 3rd and long, that's what we talked about. The Gators are not suited well for these 3rd and long situations.
It's a snap. The kick is a wobbly one towards the sidelines. It'll bounce at the 35. Petrie will let it roll. Just get away. It'll be killed at the 26-yard line, and the Tarpons will take over there. But, partner, don't you just feel like if the Tarpons get another score or 2, like I don't know if the Gators are going to be able to score 21 points tonight. Like you feel like the Tarpons, if they could go up 2 scores, it would be a huge advantage. Because I don't know that South Terrebonne is going to be able to move it much tonight.
No, what South Terrebonne was going to have to hope for is short fields. Special teams are going to have to help them out to try and give them a short field.
Block a punt, yeah.
If not, it might be a long night for them.
Just running their base offense right now is getting swallowed up. Tarpons have it at the 29. That last sack brought to you by the Terry L. Hunter III Foundation, by the way. 1st and 10. Inside give off to Meathead. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Look at him work through that hole. He falls forward about the 33. There's no way. I would have thought Dardar would get about 3-4 yards out of that run, but he just kept picking through the line and got all the way to the 33-yard line.
Give him 4 yards. That was probably a 2-yard loss, but he kept his feet moving. Nice run.
9:49 and counting in the opening half. The Tarpons lead 7-0 with possession of the ball, playing 2nd and 6. Ogeron's in the gun. Flanking Meathead out wide. It's a design run for the quarterback. Ogeron's got a first down. Falling forward to the 42-yard line. Pickup of about 8. And it's a Golden Motors first down.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you just figured BJ probably goes into every game saying, hey, we're going to do that about 10 times a game.
Yeah, a nice job by Ogeron, just standing back at this big offensive line. Actually had his hand on one of them, read the blocks, and just positive yardage. Again, running straight up and down the field, not side to side.
9:14 and counting in the opening half. The Tarpons play a 1st and 10 from the 41. Berg in motion. Inside give to Meathead. Nice gain. Bounces outside and falls forward, but the ball's out. And the Tarpons recover it. Boy, that's one where you're trying to fight for extra yardage, maybe trying to do a little bit too much. The Tarpons catch a break and fall on the football. Number 13, Berg, saved that one. Coach BJ Young's going to tell Mr. Dardar, why don't you come and watch on the sideline for a couple plays after that fumble. They're going to get Jarvis in there.
He's fighting for extra yards, and he stops tucking the ball, trying to fight for those extra yards, and the Gators are coming to try and punch the ball out.
2nd down and 7. Jarvis now in the backfield, 4 receiver set. They'll give it to Jarvis. Nice gain, falling forward, and he got face masked. He got tackled at the 48-yard line, which is short of the first down, but after they add the penalty yardage, it is going to be a Golden Motors first down. Will it be 5 or 15? I think that one was a – let's see.
I'd say a 5.
Mr. Miller says it's a 5-yard penalty, so it will be a Golden Motors first down for the Tarpons, who will move the ball across midfield.
First down.
With 8:15 to go in the opening half, South Lafourche looking to add a little insurance, or dare we say maybe some Ashley Barrios insurance. Ball to 45. Couple snaps away from a water break. Bro, I got to tell you, it's a beautiful night tonight. It's not hot at all up here. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. 1st and 10 from the Gator 45-yard line. Tarpons in the gun. Strong side of the field to the left. Jarvis trying to turn the corner. He's hit and thrown back for a yard loss. Good job by the Gator defense that time. Number 4 was in on the stop. Jardson Neville. We've called out his name a lot tonight.
You see that last play, Jarvis tried to bend it deep, trying to get an alley, and actually lost a yard instead of just putting his foot down into the turf and running north and south.
2nd and 11. Tarpons have trips to the right. That's the strong side of the field. Looks like Alamo's the only one flanked out left. Ogeron waiting on the shotgun snap. He's got it. Straight drop. Has a clean pocket. Now he's flushed out. He's hit, and he's dropped. Good job by the Gators that time. Getting Carson. Boy, it'll be 3rd and awfully long now. Back on the other side of the 50 to the 48-yard line.
Tackle made by 61, Jansen Lafleur.
Jansen Lafleur made the tackle for the Gators on that play. So if you're BJ Young, you're saying, hey, man, if we could get this ball around, let's say maybe the 40, 42-yard line or so, maybe we could go for it. But as it stands now, it's 3rd and about 17 or so.
See Gators just standing back.
Ogeron on a straight drop. It's a screen, and it's intercepted. And this might be a pick 6. The Gators are going the other way. Ogeron will tackle him. That's a huge tackle. Number 45 intercepted it. Trinity Dupree. And circle that play with Carson Ogeron making that tackle at the 20-yard line. But as the Gator offense has struggled, what looked like a short touchdown, now they're going to have to punch it in.
Yeah, so we just talked about that the Gators would have to have some type of short field.
Yep. Far and away their best opportunity of the game right here. Now can the Tarpon defense bail their offense out a little bit? It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
See if the Gators try and get something wide.
Strong side of the field to the right. Blanchard waiting on the snap. It's a sweep run. Cutting inside. Nothing at all. Number 22, Jare Ricks got the carry. He didn't no gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. And I think that'll bring us to the heat and humidity break. It's 6:12 and counting. I don't think the Gators will get the play off. Yeah, they're not going to get it off. So that'll bring us to the heat and humidity timeout. 6 minutes to go in the opening half. It's 7-0 South Lafourche. But the Gators are driving. We'll be Second and 10 for the Gators after the humidity break. They play a 2nd and 10 from the Tarpon 20. Blanchard rolls out to the right, has a man wide open. How far is he going to run? He's inside the 10. He's tripped up at the 8-yard line. That is Ricks. Little bootleg gets them to 1st and goal.
For the Gators.
Good job by the Gator offense.
Gators actually had a receiver open further down the field.
Kind of just took more of the sure thing there. 1st and goal from the 7. Still got to punch it in. They're still in the gun. Dupree in the backfield. Actually, it's a direct snap to Ricks. Picking through the line. They're pushing him. He's going to be dropped at about the 4. So gain of about 3.
Maybe a yard on the point. And tackle about
5:20 and counting in a first half that has glided by.
See, the Tarpon defense can hold strong here.
Yep, they didn't punch it in yet. If old Nelson can maybe get in the backfield. 2nd and goal, direct snap again. Trying to turn the corner. He's going to be hit and stopped short, I think. Nope, he's in. That's number 22. Jare Ricks gets in. Pending an extra point, we're going to be tied here in Galliano. Gators turn a short field into a touchdown.
At that time, they just tried to string the play wide to their side of the field, and Riggs did a good job just waiting for his opening. The Tarpons came up hard like they normally do. Just broke a tackle to get into the end zone.
Michael Gutierrez will be attempting the point. Snap is there, kick is up, and it is good. So we're tied. We're tied at 7. The Tarpons will have a chance to maybe try to score before half. 4:51 to go. We'll be back in 1 minute on ESPN 100.3. P.J. Young's not going to be happy because this offense arguably just gave up 7 points with the interception, putting the Gators at the 20-yard line. Now you got 4:51 to try to make up for it before the half. Petrie, Angelette, and Alamo are going to be back deep. They're going to be catching a kick from Juan Gutierrez. Michael Gutierrez. Ball's at the 40. Line drive kick. That one might go out of bounds. It'll be caught by Angelette. Working up the field. He's at the 15, 20, 25. Dropped it about the 27. So pretty good starting field position for the Tarpons. And a pretty good return by Angelette.
Yeah, nice return. He could have let the ball possibly go out of bounds or in the end zone, but he caught it and did a good job getting up the field, giving the Tarpons decent field position.
You got 4:44, and I don't believe the Tarpons have called a timeout yet, so that leads me to believe they have all three.
Don't like the spot.
Tarpons just got to start executing, man. You're running the ball well, but just having some mistakes here and there. Maybe we can get the ball to Colt DeCure. He makes things happen. 1st and 10 for the Tarpons in the gun. Trips are to the left side of the field. And a pre-snap penalty will put the Tarpons in a hole right out of the gate.
Ball start against the Tarpons.
Maurice DeLotte committed the violation, and the Tarpons can actually get Mason Alamo into the game for him. So now it's 1st and 15. It gets a little harder. Same formation, trips to the left. Ogeron inside gift to Dardar. Nothing. Very little, if anything. Good job by the Gators defensive front that time. It'll bring up 2nd and about 14. LaFleur on the stop for the Gators. Clock continues to run. Let's see if we could find old 13 down the seam. That's kind of been an elixir for when the Tarpons have struggled on offense. The Gators are doing a good job spying on Ogeron when he rolls out. They're not letting him get any free space. 2nd and 15. Man in motion is Berg. Ogeron, straight drop. Pump fake, and he is swallowed up. Sacked. Number 34 got the sack that time, Lincoln Dupree. Partner, this has not been a very proud showing from the Tarpon offense in the first half. They're struggling.
It has, but a lot of game left. Tarpon's got to be careful right here.
Yeah, this drive needs to end either with a big play right here or a punt. You don't want to turn over the football. 3rd and a mile. Ogeron tries the hard count. They're not biting. Play clock down to 7.
Run it down and call a timeout.
BJ is going to call a timeout at 1, so the Tarpons are going to try to figure out their best 3rd and 20 play.
It's funny. Coach Young standing, 2 inches from
in the hip of the official, and the fans are freaking out.
He knew it was a timeout. The fans are going crazy. Timeout, timeout.
It is not Brian Joseph's first rodeo, folks. What are you seeing, man? Boy, it looked like South Lafourche was in a good spot, playing great defense, and have a 7-0 lead. You're driving, but then, boy, the turnover hits, and the Gators get a short field, and now they're looking at a situation where if they force a punt, they're getting 2 possessions in a row because they're getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Well, look, the Tarpons come out again, running the ball, having success. Then after their 4th possession or so, it's not only the defense makes an adjustment, then we struggle to run the football.
That was a question on play-by-play this week from a listener who made that same observation.
Now, it doesn't help with the penalty to start the drive.
It's an empty set for Ogeron on 3rd and a mile. They've got to get to the 37. Ogeron steps up in the pocket. Now outside looking to run. He's across the 20. He's not going to get a first down. He's going to be hustled out of bounds near the 20. And the Gators are very fortunate that they didn't just get a 15-yard penalty. But, boy, they kind of slung him down there. But it will be the punt team coming out. We've mentioned all throughout the night the pressure they have gotten on Nicholas Coleman.
Made by Neville on the last play. We forked it long to the Tarpons, and they elect the punt. Coleman back to punt for the Tarpons.
Got to be careful here.
Coleman needs to get off his best Sunday effort. The Gators are standing at the 46-yard line waiting for the return. They're coming on a block. Coleman gets a nice one. This is a good kick. A bounce at the 45. It'll be picked up at midfield and hit and pushed out at the 45-yard line is number 2, Logan Marcel. So great field position for the Gators at the Tarpon 45-yard line. They've got 2:58 to work with.
Nice job by Colby Bruce getting down there, putting coverage, laying a lick on the ball carrier.
See if I could get you a scoreboard update brought to you by 3T Oil, home of the drive-through oil change. I could tell you that in the first quarter, Terrebonne leads HL Bourgeois 28-7.
You called it.
Yes, I did. Sorry for the Braves that we might have been right about that one, but yeah. 1st and 10 for the Gators here. It's a 7-7 tie. They're in the pistol. Tarpon defense needs to hold firm. You don't want to give up points before half, knowing they're getting the ball to start the second half, they being the Gators. Breeze Blanchard directing traffic. He's got Brody Dupree in the backfield with him. It's the snap, inside handoff. Now bouncing outside, getting a pretty good gain, about 3-4 yards to about the 43. Boy, I don't know how good the Gators are this year, but when you're playing a sophomore quarterback and a sophomore running back, that tells me you got some bright days ahead, and both of those kids are playing well tonight too.
And the Gators here, their objective, you want to score, but the secondary objective, do not give the ball back to the Tarpons.
Yes, make sure this is the last possession of the half.
The Tarpons are trying to get the ball back.
2nd and 7. In the pistol, strong side of the field to the left. They're going to hand it off again. Nice hole, but the Tarpons closed the hole beautifully that time and limited him to pretty much no gain. I thought he was going to get some nice yards there initially, but Miles Stelter closed that up in a hurry.
Well, Tarpons played fundamental football. They stayed home and they counterplayed. If they would have went with the flow, it would have been wide open. It looked wide open because the line got blocked, but the backers were right there to make plays.
2 minutes and counting. 3rd and 7 for the Gators. Will BJ call a timeout if they get a stop here? Let's see.
Absolutely.
The Gators, you can tell they're slowing their pace. They know that they don't want to give the Tarpons another chance. Closed up shotgun set. Blanchard gets the snap. He's under pressure. It's a screen, and it's caught. And the Gators are going to get a big play out of it. 30. Brought out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They had the perfect play call for the situation, and it's a Gator first down getting out of bounds at 134. Great call there by Coach Babin. You're facing a very aggressive defensive front. Hey, let them in. We'll just throw it right over your head. Start back. 1:34 to go.
Nice call, but great execution by the big Gator offensive line.
Yeah, they got down the field and we're throwing some secondary guys down. 1st and 10. Blanchard throws it deep, and it's caught. Off the hands of the Tarpon defender. Should have been a dead red interception. Instead, it's caught at the 7-yard line by the Gators. My goodness. It's just been one of those nights. Brock Price with the grab. One of those nights so far for the Tarpons. That one should have been going the other way.
Yeah, it hit the defensive back right in his hands.
1st and goal for the Gators. 1:15 and counting. Blanchard, try a sweep run. Now cutting on the inside, nothing. Tarpons are trying to pull the ball out, but they're going to get him to the turf. Otown on the stop. Clock becoming a little bit of an issue. Inside of a minute, the Gators are going to maybe have to put a little pep in their step. They've only got one timeout.
2nd and goal for the Gators.
Will be 2nd and goal.
Gators out worse here. Should get a field goal attempt. Coach Babin will have to call his last time out.
I don't like that. Calling their last time out with 42 seconds to go. They were discombobulated. You see Aaron's furious on the sideline. Now, if you get tackled in bounds, you could lose a lot of precious time.
Kind of reminds me one time over here on this field playing South Terrebonne.
They ran out of time. Christian Arsenault gets tackled at the 5-yard line, and they ran out of time.
They were driving and run out of time. Tarpons get the victory.
Tarpon defense needs to get a push here. 42 seconds to go in the half. It's 7-7, but the Gators are driving. They'll play a 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. And at the half, South Hoosiers going to have to figure some things out on offense, man. Their offense is struggling right now in a big way. But one way to carry some momentum into it would be to get a stop here.
Gators got to be careful here. If they come some type of bootleg, whatever, Tarpon's going to put pressure on that quarterback and may force a turnover.
The Gators are now out of timeouts. Blanchard is in the gun. Joining him is Dupree. 2nd and goal. Blanchard straight drop. Flushed out to the right. Looking to throw. He'll throw it in the end zone, and it's incomplete. This will be a legal man downfield, I believe, on the Gators. The Tarpons nearly intercepted another one.
Abram Berg did a nice job.
Now, if you're B.J. Young, do you play 2nd and goal from the 13 or 3rd and goal from the 8?
I'm backing him up.
It is illegal man down the field, and B.J. is backing them up to maybe make a potential field goal later in the drive a little more difficult. Boy, the Tarpon secondary is going to pick one off tonight. Don't you feel it? I mean, they've, on this drive, had 2 of them that they could have maybe got in their grasp.
The Gators could, just send a few people downfield and send somebody back in the flats. I think they would find success there.
A sack here would be very detrimental to South Terrebonne. Blanchard has to get this ball out. It's 2nd and goal. Trips to the right. They're bunched to the right. The strong side of the field. Straight drop. Under pressure down the middle. It's going to be caught. No! Incomplete. It was intended for the Gator receiver, but Maddox Commerdale leveled him at the 1-yard line and forced the ball out. The pass was intended for Braden Bro, and that's why Maddox Commerdale is going to be a first-team all-district player, because of plays like that, maybe saving a touchdown.
Receiver would have made a heck of a catch, but Maddox just came in and laid the wood to him.
Now, Brian, 25 seconds, no timeouts, and you can't clock the ball. If they get tackled inbounds here, they're going to have to really move to get that field goal team out there.
Just Tarpons tackle him inbounds.
Blanchard gets the snap. He throws it into the end zone, and it's incomplete. I think that's a very smart decision from Blanchard, though. You guarantee that you're not going to run yourself out of the half, and the Gators will try the field goal with 20 seconds to go.
Now, if you're the Tarpons here, do not commit a penalty.
Looks like the Gators will try for a field goal.
30-yarder.
23, Michael Gutierrez.
30-yarder. Gutierrez gets the snap. The kick is up. Looks good. And it is good. So the Gators add 3 to their lead, 10-7, with 15 seconds to go in the opening half. You mentioned field position, B. Gators 2 short fields, 10 points. They're not going to go 90 yards too often, but they could go 40, 50 yards.
Yeah, look, that score and drive, 8 plays, 46 yards. Ends up with a 30-yard field goal. Gators take the lead.
If you're the Tarpons with 15 seconds, you're trying to run this kick back, and if not, take a knee. Let's get out of here.
Coach Young has a number of trick plays. Do you try and you get the ball depending on the field position? Do you try it?
If I could get it somewhere around the 50, sure, but the problem is the time of the return to get it to the 50 would eat up almost all the clock.
You give probably one play.
Gutierrez, who just made the 30-yard field goal, is on to kick it off. What you don't want to do is turn it over here on special teams. You want to guarantee you get it to half, 10-7. Gutierrez doesn't get much of a running start, does he? 4 yards, and boy, that's a long kick. It'll be fielded by Angelette near the end zone. Bouncing outside, he's got a nice seam. Turn the corner, 30, 35, pushed out of the 40. There's 6 seconds to go. So now the Tarpons might try something after a good return.
Knocked out of bounds, went on the 8, Braden Burrow.
Well, if you're the Gators, you play back.
Yeah, look at them. They got safeties that are. But here's what could potentially happen. If you give up a 15-yard catch in the flats and the guy gets 25, 30 yards, let's say you face mask him. Then They're getting another play.
I'm running course and O's run.
That's probably not a bad idea either. Get him in space, see what happens. Tarpenton and high form. It looks like they're not going to do much here. Yep, just an inside run. Dordar will push forward, and that'll be the end of the first half. With our score, South Terrebonne 10, South Lafourche 7. We'll be back after this 4-minute break. We'll start our halftime report in 4 minutes. Varsity football on ESPN 100.3.
At Bourgeois Meat Market, our slogan is Miracles in Meat since 1891. To be in business over 130 years, the most important thing is to have a quality product. The next most important thing is customer service. Our old meat market is in Schriever, Louisiana, and we're really proud to be opening up our brand new store in Gray, Louisiana. We have Rev at both locations now. So all these new scales and our POS system runs on technology, and we need Rev to make that happen for us. I highly recommend Rev Business.
Welcome back here. It's our halftime show with South Terrebonne leading South Lafourche 10-7. We told you in the pregame, expect the defense to struggle. Don't expect a lot of offense, and we haven't gotten it. The Tarpons went down the field about 45, 50 yards on their drive, maybe 55 yards on their drive, scored a touchdown. Gators have used 2 short fields to
We
get a
now take
touchdown
the
and a
field
field
for
goal.
halftime
Whole lot of
performance.
game left, still anybody's contest, but boy, the Tarpons are going to have to get a little sharper up front on offense because they're having a hard time in pass protection, and right now they're struggling.
Yeah, I think it's simple. Second half, win the field position battle, make the Gators try and go long distances to try and score. When you give them a short field, they're going to take 6, 7 plays and they're going to go ahead and score or come close to scoring if not. But look, Tarpon's got to find some offense. Again, we come out the first possession, okay, a 3 and out. But the second possession, we go 7 plays, 57 yards, we get a touchdown. But you know what happened in that possession? No sacks, no penalties. We go and score.
Yes.
The next possession, we get a 5-yard penalty. Put us behind the chains, and we got to go ahead and we got 2 incompletions, then we punt. Next possession, again, penalty, a sack, ends up in an interception. So if the Tarpons can just stay away from penalties and getting sacked, they can move the football. And it's a matter of Coach Young says staying on schedule where you mix the run and the pass. You can't get into situations where you are predictable. We talked about in the pregame that Coach Hawkins and his defensive staff, they love to play games, and when they know you passing the ball, they're going to run these stunts up front, and they can make it tough on you.
I really believe that it's going to be a big drive to start the third quarter. The Gators are going to get the ball, assuming they don't break a long kick return. They'll get it to 25, 30, 35-yard line. They're going to have to go the length of the field. I would love to see the Tarpon defense push back, get a 3 and out, and kind of draw that line in the sand right there.
Yeah, and look, they can do it. There's no doubt. Again, I still believe on paper the Tarpons are the better team, but they're getting out-executed right now on the field. And you got to turn that around.
You're facing a team now that's also starting to believe a little bit. How about this one? Remember I told you on play-by-play today, E.D. White was going to stomp a mud hole in Woodlawn of Baton Rouge? 4 minutes left in the second quarter. E.D. White 36, Woodlawn 7.
Wow.
I can't wait for E.D. White to play St. James. That's going to be a huge, huge football contest between 2 state powers. Still not able to get a Vanderbilt Catholic score. If we've got any Vanderbilt listeners here, please shoot us the score. That one they're taking on Lutcher. I'm looking all over on Twitter. Haven't seen anything. So please give us an update if you got one. Let's try to find a Destrehan and Hanville score. They're playing. And by the way, all these scoreboard updates are brought to you by 3T, home of the drive-through oil change. Destrehan leading 21-3 over Hanville. That's not a big surprise there. So here it's 10 for South Terrebonne, and it's 7 for South Lafourche. Let's take another 4-minute break. When we get back, Brian will give his keys to the second half. His varsity football on ESPN 100.3. for South Terrebonne, 7 for South Lafourche. We'll be back playing ball in about 6 minutes. There's 3:20 on the clock. They're going to add 3 additional minutes after that. Tarpons are down. Maybe didn't fully expect that coming in, but we did think the Gators would play tough and give them everything that they could handle. If you're BJ, what are you telling you guys right now? Because obviously you don't want to panic. You're a touchdown away from taking the lead. But hey, if we play the same way in the first half or in the second half like we did in the first half, we're going to lose. We're going to be 2-2. So what are you telling the guys right now to make sure that they're laser focused?
I think it's simple. Protect the quarterback, number one, and stop committing penalties. That's the second thing. And I think if you do those simple things, I think you can go down. You can score 1 or 2 times in the second half, and it may be too much for the Gators.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. Tomorrow we've got the Sports Corner. Boy, tomorrow is just an amazing college football Saturday. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Coach Prime in Colorado against Oregon. I'm curious to hear this. Dominic, who you got tomorrow? You got Colorado or Oregon? You think Coach Prime's going to pull the upset tomorrow or what? Oh, wow. Okay, he's going with a big upset.
He's going to wear his sunglasses next week. Yeah. Got a halftime score, Casey, brought to you by 3T Oil. Chalmette 35, Patterson 0.
Yeah, Patterson, too much to overcome. You lose your coach right before school starts, and just too much to overcome. You feel for those kids. Here we've got a 10-7 game. We'll be playing ball in about 4 minutes, Brian. The Saints are playing Green Bay. LSU's playing Arkansas. Which of the Louisiana schools is most likely to run into some drama this weekend? Got to be the Saints, right?
Saints.
Yeah,
no doubt.
You think LSU's gonna put it on Arkansas pretty good? The line 17 and a half.
Yeah, I think so. I think they will. They're at home, playing at night. That's what y'all want. Y'all don't want to play in the day. So
yeah, boy, that didn't work out last week.
No, but I think LSU's gonna be fine. I think they're one of the top teams right now, playing well. The only way, if they would something would happen on the LSU defense where just Arkansas just comes and runs the ball at them, and I don't think they're big running back.
Great news, home of businesses. we're here. We are Rev, a telecommunications provider with powerful solutions and unmatched local support. We've been bringing Louisiana people, businesses, and culture together for 85 years. Our fiber network delivers superior internet, phone, and security. It's big business technology with small business personal service. For a limited time, get up to $300 off business services. Call or visit us today at letsrev.biz.
That is Braden Bro. Let's rock and roll. See if the Tarpons can get a stop to start the third quarter. Here's Gonzalez's kick. Line drive. It'll be picked up at the 18-yard line, working up the field. Hit and dropped at about the 28. So good kick coverage by the Tarpons that time. And now your defense has to get them off the field here, try to get your offense back in a good spot.
Good kick by Gonzalez. Just kicked that ball hard, took a good bounce. Hit a Gator before it can get to their back return guy.
See if the Tarpons could do what the Gators did earlier and maybe get an interception. They've been flirting with it all night. Gotten their hands on a couple of footballs and have not been able to bring them home. Gators at their own 28. That's where Blanchard leads his guys. He's joined in the backfield, as always, by Brody Dupree. Shotgun set. 1st and 10. Play action, throwing a slant, and it's dropped. And when I say dropped, I mean dropped by a guy in a blue jersey. The pass was way high, and Dre Hughes could not corral that one. Got to start catching some of those, man. That's 3 dropped interceptions today. That could have been 3 big turnovers, and Dre had some room to run.
And that play, he wasn't really in good position. The ball was just sailed high. They had the receiver open on the slant.
I got a scoreboard update from Vanderbilt and Lutcher after this play. 2nd and 10 for the Gators. Outside sweep run, looking to turn the corner. He's hit after a short gain as number 8, Braden Bro. Scoreboard update brought to you by 3T Oil, home of the drive-through oil change. Lutcher 15, Vanderbilt 0. Oh, man, I got some horrible news to report. Kylan Billiard, the LSU commitment from Terrebonne High School, just got injured, and from what I'm told, it doesn't look good.
Oh.
You hate to hear that. 3rd and 7 here for the Gators. Tarpons trying to force a 3-and-out. Come with the hard count. Tarpons haven't bid on it yet. There are trips to the left side of the field. Tarpons showing some pressure. Now they back away. It's a little bubble screen. Can the Tarpons rally to the football? Yes, they can. Very easy stop that time. That was either number 5 or number 6. Vedros or Stelter. I think that one was Stelter. Nope, Vedros. The 5 and the 6 jersey look identical.
Yeah, so it kind of goes up on them.
But we said at halftime, Tarpons got to force a 3-and-out. Check. Gators are punting it away. Terrence Petrie standing at his own 35-yard line. See if the Tarpons could maybe make a play on teams here. Maybe they could go get a block.
Not sure what's going on here. They're just letting the clock run.
They got 10. Yeah, they've got 10 on the field.
And the equipment issue.
Play clock down to 3.
That's delayed.
Delay of game. They didn't get that off. There was a beautiful
There's a
punt.
flag on the play.
The
Looks
Gators
like
are
there's some movement.
going to.
It won't be a delay. It's going to be
False start against
procedure.
the Gators.
Well, you know why it was a procedure was when the young man saw the clock hit 0, he just moved. You have nothing to lose at that point.
Yep.
So it's actually somewhat of a heads-up play, but now it'll be 4th and about 11, 5 yards further back. And unfortunate for the Gators because their punter had unleashed a beauty. About a snap over the punter's head that we go fall on in the end zone. Wouldn't that be something?
Not sure what's going on here. This seems to be confused. We got it worked out.
I think that they had initially made it a 6-yard penalty, and our white cap said, nope. We counted that one wrong. Snap is there. The punt is away, and it's a wobbly kick towards the sideline. Will bounce at the 40, take a Gator roll, and will be killed at about the 30-yard line. So the Tarpons have decent field position, but first things first, you needed to stop, and you got it. Let's see what kind of adjustments the Tarpon offense has made with 9:54 to go in the third quarter.
I fully expect the Tarpons to come here and move the ball.
Yeah, Dominic thinks it's time for number 10 to maybe make a little push. 1st and 10 from the 30. The Tarpons trailing by 3. I think what you said at halftime is the big one, Brian. I think the Tarpons got to stop playing against themselves. The penalties and miscues. Strong side of the field to the right. Ogeron keeps it. Good call, Dominic. He's got 5 yards. He's got 6 yards across the 35. They haven't stopped that play yet tonight. They've run it out 3 or 4 times, and boy, you just get the feeling they might see it 10, 15 times in this half. Scoreboard update brought to you by 3T, home of the drive-through oil change. CCA 14, Central Catholic 14. That's a halftime score. Trips to the right. 1 second and 3. Ogeron in the gun. It's the snap. Inside handoff to Dardar. He's got a Golden Motors first down and more. Driving across the 45. He gets to the 47. That's a gain of about 10. And it's a Golden Motors first down. Good hard running by Dardar, and he did a better job there covering up the football whenever he got into traffic.
Nice run by Dardar. Again, that's how the Tarpons, their second possession of the game, going right at them.
Got it near midfield, 8:53 and counting in the third quarter. Tarpons looking to try to retake the lead, but still got 52 yards to go. Berg in motion. Meathead with Ogeron in the gun. Inside give off to Meat. Bouncing in the left side of the line, gets across midfield to the 47, pickup of about 5. At some point on one of these 2nd and 4s, will BJ play action and try to hit somebody deep, or do you just say, hey, we're going to do this until you stop us?
I keep going at him, right at him.
It'll bring up 2nd and a long 4 or a short 5, however you want to do the math. Tarpons already at the line of scrimmage getting the call from the sidelines. BJ is at the 28-yard line studying the defensive formation before giving the call. Alamo in motion. Hand it off to Meathead. Big hole. He's got a Golden Motors first down. It's across the 45 to about the 42. Got the first down by a yard. They're getting 5-6 yards of pop running it right now. And it is another Golden Motors first down. 7:50 and counting in the third quarter. The Tarpons in plus territory, but one of their bugaboos all year has been finishing drives. Let's see if they could cap this one off with a score. Ogeron in the shotgun. Play action, rolls out to the left. Under pressure, now he's going to take off and run. He's got a lot of room. 35, tripped up at the 31, near the first down markers. I think it'll be another Golden Motors first down. And it will be. So Ogeron making something out of nothing, and the Tarpons are getting a little closer. BJ shuffling in the I formation set. Berg checks into the game. This is the formation. You run out of this 80% of the time. This is where they might fake it and try to find the cure on a fly. 1st and 10. Inside gift to Berg. Ogeron pushing him across the 30. There was not much surge there, though. Got about 2.
Yeah, if Ogeron doesn't go behind the pile and push, no gain.
Tarpons get back into the gun. 2nd down and 8. Ball at about the 29, 28-yard line. 6:38 and counting in the 3rd. Strong side of the field to the left. Ogeron waiting on the snap.
We're going to catch the Gators here and miss the line pretty quick.
Ogeron making some checks at the line of scrimmage. The Gators are playing everyone within 8 yards of the ball, even the safeties. Ogeron gives it to Dardar. Dardar picking through the line, falling forward near the 25. Short of the 1st down, but he got about 4. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5 or 6.
Tackle was made, but it was 34. Lincoln Dupree.
So you got 2 downs to get about 6 yards here.
Right. No need to panic here. You got 2 downs to pick up 6.
And you got a free timeout because there's a heat and humidity break with 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The Tarpons are driving, but they're trailing by a field goal. We'll be back in 1 minute on ESPN 100.3. All right, 3rd and 6 for the Tarpons at the Gator 25-yard line, trailing 10-7. Let's see what Coach Young calls out of the humidity break.
Halftime score, John Curtis 20, Jesuit 7. Brought to you by 3T Oil.
Strong side of the field to the left. It's a quarterback power. Ogeron picking through the line. He's near the 1st down 6. And I think he's got it. What did I tell you during the commercial? I said, I'm running a quarterback dive 2 plays in a row. They didn't need to do it 2 plays in a row because they just got themselves in the absolute fitness red zone.
You told me you would throw it deep.
No, you lying. You lying. And guess what? I'm probably running it 2 or 3 times in this down and distance here too, as they have not stopped it yet. Ball to your best playmaker. 1st and 10 from the 20. Ogeron looking to throw. He's got Petrie. What a catch. That was not a very good throw from Carson. If it would have been, Terrence could have maybe caught it and run, but he made an excellent grab at the 16-yard line, and it's a pickup about 4. Oh, they mark back at the 17. But those 3 yards, 2nd and 7, is a whole lot better than 2nd and 10. So great grab there by Terrence. And that's one Carson would like to have back, because if that one were a little more accurate, Terrence could have caught and run. Power eye set. We have a flag on the play. Offsides on South Terrebonne. Boy. The ball will now move from the 17 to the 12. It'll be 2nd and about 2 now. And the thing that's going to drive Aaron Babin crazy, they're in a run formation. Why the hell is your cornerback jumping offsides? That is a very costly penalty to bring up 2nd and 2 from the 12. 4:55 and counting in the 3rd quarter. Tarpons trying to retake the advantage in what has been a back-and-forth ball game tonight. Ogeron in the eye. Man in motion. Give it to Meathead. Meathead's got a 1st down, driving inside the 10. It'll be a Golden Motors 1st down. Tarpons will play a 1st and goal from the 9. Now, this is not something that BJ's thinking about even right now, but you are in the range to where if you stall out, you could potentially tie the game.
Okay, so we talked about absolute fitness, red zone. Have you ever been watching that place?
I need to. Beautiful. I've heard nothing but good things. 1st and 10 out of the gun. Ogeron. It's a quarterback draw. He loses his footing. Now bounces outside. Can he turn the corner? Trying to make a man miss. Good open field tackle by the Gators that time. I think that was number 54 on the stop. Cullen Chauvin, who might have prevented a touchdown. Carson got about a yard or two, but nothing more.
Game of inches. Carson's knee must have come an inch from touching the turf.
And boy, wouldn't that have been a tough loss. Yeah. 2nd and goal from the 7. The Tarpons are bringing the heavies back in. That's Berg, our homecoming king here. Again, if you're just joining, congratulations to Valeria Galicia, and Abram Berg. Tarpons in the eye. Play action, bootleg. He's got a man, but he doesn't see him. Now he reverses to the left, and he's in. Carson could have thrown it for a touchdown, but he had a guy wide open, but he reversed his foot and ran it for a touchdown. There's no flags. The Tarpons lead 13-10. Good initial pressure by the Gators on the bootleg, but you can't out-athlete the best athlete on the field, and Carson did an excellent job there.
He hit a receiver open, didn't see it, reversed his field, and he just used his speed to get into the end zone.
And give Dominic a gold star. He told us when the quarter started, hey, number 10's about ready to start running the ball, and we saw it several times on that drive. A big extra point here, though, for the Tarpons to try to make the Gators have to score a touchdown. Snap is there. Kick is up. It looks good. It is good. The Tarpons lead 14-10. Lafourche retakes the lead. Let's see if they can get a defensive stop. We'll be back in 1 minute with more on ESPN 100.3.
And a $100 gift card from
Tarpons go down the field and score after a defensive stop. They retake the lead 14-10. Cesar Gonzalez be kicking it away. Let's see if the special teams can make a play one more time. Cesar with the ball on the tee.
6-2-3.
Gets a big old 12-yard head start. Little pop-up kick. That's going to be fielded at the 30. Fair caught at the 28-yard line by number 24 of the Gators, Jake Dardar.
And it looks like Darby Shacksaw is the winner.
Dr. Darby Shacksaw just won the half and half.
Make the right call. Get your eyes checked by Dr. Darby Shacksaw. Boy, he's never seen clearer than when he saw his winning numbers on those tickets.
I hope he didn't misread the numbers on the ticket, because that's not good.
1st and 10 for the Gators at their own 29. Let's see if the Tarpon defense can get another stop, and we can maybe go back at them. Blanchard will be in the pistol with the usual running back, Brody Dupree. Tarpons have been flirting with forcing a turnover all night.
Our previous quarterback club president.
There's a snap, inside handoff, not much, very little. Got across the 30, maybe got a yard and a half, and a very late flag comes in. Someone did something off key, and we'll see what it is. There's an injured Gator, by the way, a big lineman. BJ's not happy, which means it's a personal foul on the Tarpons. So your 1 yard gain turns into a 16-yard gain.
There's an injured Gator on the field.
Trying to see where they can spot the ball on the end of the run.
They'll be around the 31, and they'll walk it. They should have it about the 46, according to my math. Yep, right at the 46. And, boy, what a costly penalty. You had them up against the sticks, and now you give them a free first down. The injured player is 70-something. I can't make out who it is. Maybe Brian could use the binoculars and help us out.
Yes, it is.
If it is 77, that's Brooks Onestell, senior offensive lineman.
Coach Babin out there checking on him. He looks to be getting up.
Yeah, a little cramping probably with the big boy.
Might get up to Onestell.
We've got one more game with the heat and humidity breaks, and then we will just be playing through. But a costly 15-yard penalty. Let's see if the Tarpons could better keep their composure here. 3:11 to go in the third quarter. So happy you guys have joined us on ESPN 100.3. In the gun is Blanchard. 4 receiver set, strong side of the field to the right. Blanchard will throw it to the sideline, caught. The Tarpons will rally to the football and shove him out after a very minimal gain. The catch was made by number 1. That's Logan Marcel. Gained about 2. Good job by the Tarpons rallying to the ball.
Yeah, he had nowhere else to run on that sideline once he caught the ball to the short side of the field.
Gators are trying to hurry up, play with a little tempo. They maybe think that they've got the Tarpons in an alignment that they like. 2nd and 7. Blanchard looks to the sideline. Still got a lot of time on the play clock, down to 12. 2:58 to go in the third quarter. Blanchard handed on a sweep. The Tarpons trying to string it out, and they do. It's Marcel on the carry. He gained about 2 or 3 across midfield, but a short gain again. Nelson on the stop. Bring up 3rd and 4.
Caden Jarvis came up, almost had a play. Right at the line of scrimmage, just missed.
If you're the Tarpons, you're screaming the ball key right now. You don't want to give them a free first down jumping off sides on 3rd and 4. Figure it could potentially be 4-down territory for South Terrebonne here. They're getting their call from the sideline, taking some time here. Play clock down to 10. And down to 7. They're still making some checks. This might end up being a timeout if they don't hurry.
Yeah, Coach Babin running on the sideline.
And he will call a timeout right before the play. So a timeout called by South Terrebonne. It's their first timeout of the second half with our score, South Lafourche 14, South Terrebonne 10. I think Coach Babin knows this is a big sequence right here. His team's trying to retake the momentum.
It was very close from them getting the play off, but Coach Babin sprinted about 15 yards to the official to call a timeout.
The original play was a bootleg out to the right for the quarterback Blanchard. We'll see if that's what they come with again. Led the base, cannon, kick it. The student section going wild here in Galliano. Trying to will their Tarpons to a 3-1 start to the year. But, boy, the Gators have made them work. Anybody's contest here with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
You would think the Gators would try to do something to the wide side of the field.
But tonight in the student section,
yeah, I don't want to run right at Nelson here. I don't know how successful that would be. But the outside runs have struggled too. 3rd and 4. Blanchard will roll out to the right. He's under pressure. He will throw it to a wide open receiver who dropped it. They had a man wide open, number 8, Braden Bro, and it popped off of his shoulder pads. The Gators are going to punt, and again, I don't trust them as far as I could throw them. 4th and 4 in plus territory. I'm just playing safe defense right here if I'm the Tarpons.
Yeah, Bro was wide open. He was actually 3 yards, 4 yards beyond the sticks to pick up the first down.
Tarpons better be careful here. Something about this feels a little fishy to me.
No, they got a punt.
There's the snap, and he does punt it away. It's a beautiful kick. Terrence needs to just get away from that one. Good coffin corner punt goes out of bounds. Tarpons will be pinned back at, still moving, about the 18-yard line. So Tarpons will take over there, looking to add to their lead. And look, with as much of a struggle as it's been for the Gators on offense at times, if you're South Lafourche, you get a touchdown here, you're starting to feel real good about yourself. But you've got 82 yards to go first.
I think if you just flip the field right here,
First and 10 from the 18-yard line. Carson Ogeron with 3 receivers and a tight end. Inside handoff to Mark. Draws the 20. Look out. Driving forward near the 27-yard line. Gain of about 9. He was 1 broken tackle away from being off to the races.
They'll give him a first on that.
Golden Motors first down. He got 10. You just wonder if as this game goes on, if that Tarpon offensive line might start wearing down that defensive line, because they've been running it pretty easily here in the second half so far. Tarpons are a little confused. Play clock down to 10, and they're really not all that close to getting the play off. Got to hurry down to 5. Now they're there. Ogeron hands it to Dardar. Nice blocking across the 30. Falls to about the 32. Gain of about 4.
Good job, offensive line. Getting the push up front. Dardar does a great job. Running his offensive line and running forward, straight ahead.
Sorry, be 1 minute, and counting in the third quarter. Quarter that the Tarpons have won 7-0 so far. 2nd and 6. Strong side of the field to the left. Ogeron rolls out that way. It's a quarterback keep. Now he reverses his field, cuts in across the 35 rather. Picked up about 2 or 3. Not a big gain that time, but he does fall forward. It'll be 3rd and 3. Tarpons do not have to run a play if they don't want to. There's a 1 second difference between the game clock and the play clock. The Tarpons could maybe use a free timeout here if they want to draw up something on 3rd and 3.
They may just try and draw the Gators off sides.
Well, you got to make sure you don't draw yourself off sides if you're going with the hard count. That's exactly what they try. No blinking.
They'll let the play clock run down.
I would try one more hard count, but it looks like we're going to the fourth quarter. Our score after 3, South Lafourche 14, South Terrebonne 10. We'll be back in 1 minute. Maybe the biggest play of the ball game coming up here as we start the fourth quarter. Tarpons playing a 3rd and 3 from their own 35, looking to add to their 14-10 lead. What can BJ dial up here? The passing game has not been the strong suit tonight, but the Tarpons have run it effectively. Ball on the right hash, strong side of the field to the left. Ogeron gets the snap. It's a quarterback power, picking through the line, and he's got it. Still driving across the 40 at that. All heart there. Got a good push, and then Ogeron just didn't take no for an answer. It's a Golden Motors first down. To the 42-yard line. Well, we got to get Dominic upstairs. He told us the game plan at halftime, didn't he?
Meg Walker.
First and 10, ball at the 42-yard line.
Co-captain Lady Ilario.
Ball smack dab in the middle of the field. Trip to the right. Now it's Dubs to the right as Berg goes in motion. Hand off to Dardar. Nice hole across the 45. Driving near midfield to the 49. Pickup of about 7. There are a lot of Tarpon fans who I'm sure are enjoying the power element of the game plan tonight. Tarpons are just lining up and just running it. Empty set for Ogeron here in the gun. Will he keep it this time on 2nd and 2? He does. It's quarterback draw trying to bounce outside. Not anything there, but Carson does an outstanding job of only losing a yard. He was trapped and in jail at about the 45-yard line, but ended up getting back to the 48 and only losing about a yard.
Yeah, a great job getting to only lose one.
My guy Brogdanos just said he's listening to us on ESPN 100.3 all the way from the Barataria Pass, doing a little fishing with Kevin John Terrebonne. Thanks for listening, guys. Empty set for Carson again. 4 receivers on the field. Carson with a straight drop. Now flushed out to the right. Looking to run. Trying to turn the corner. He's got a Golden Motors first down. Across the 45. Again, the phrase I used earlier in the game, you can't out-athlete the best athlete, and that's just Carson making a play there.
Yeah, Carson's just getting out in space and making people miss, using his quickness.
We have an injured South Terrebonne player on the far side, on the sideline, laying at the 33-yard line. The Tarpons will play a 1st and 10 after another Golden Motors first down. 10-10 to go in regulation. If the Tarpons turn this into a 2-score game, you're feeling really good if you're O'Brien Joseph Young. Because right now you're controlling the clock, you're controlling the line of scrimmage, you're keeping possession of the ball. Tarpons trying to get their 3rd win of the season.
Okay, so we got to shout out the big offensive line for the Tarpons. They're doing a great job this second half. Mason Alamo, Aiden Bruce, Sawyer Wells, Carter Colley, Bo George is up front, getting the push up front, doing a super job.
The injured Gator limps off. I apologize. I mean, he was so far away from us. He's all the way on the South Terrebonne sideline. I couldn't make out a number. But that injury timeout brought to you by Thibodeau Regional. Ogeron back in the gun, 1st and 10 for the Tarps. Inside gift to Dardar, picking through the line. Shorter gain that time, but he still gets about 3 or 4 near the 40-yard line.
Meathead on the carry. Looks like he'll pick up about 4 yards.
It's easy to call offense when it's 2nd and 6 and 3rd and 2 all game, and that's what the Tarpons are doing, winning first down. And you mentioned it at half, and I'm knocking on wood as I say it. They have avoided the penalties and the false starts and the holdings and the things that have been shooting himself in the foot. 2nd and 6. Ogeron directing traffic. Play action, rolls out. He's got Berg wide open. How much is he going to run? 35, 30. Pushed out of bounds at the 28. It's a Golden Motors first down for the Tarpons. A little extracurricular perhaps after, but it doesn't draw a flag.
That'll be good for Tarpons. First down.
Tarpons are inching closer. They're at the 28-yard line, knocking on the door of the Absolute Fitness red zone.
Nice job. You run, and get the H back out on the flats who was wide open.
Now can you finish it off with points? Trips to the left, weak side of the field. In motion, Petrie. Inside gift to Dardar, picking through the line. Not much. Got to about the 26, gain of about 2.
Pick up 2 yards.
9:04 and counting. Boy, that's the thing about this drive from the Tarpons' perspective. If they do score a touchdown, they have taken a ton of time off the clock here in this drive. 8:50 and counting. 14-10 in favor of the Tarpons. 2nd and about 8. Strong side of the field to the right. The Tarps have trips that way. Ogeron keeps it, riding the back of the offensive line, falling forward near the 20. Gain of about 6 will bring up 3rd and about 1.
Yeah, that Gator defensive front looks to be getting a little bit tired. Tarpons, once again, doing a great job up front, getting that initial push off the line of scrimmage. And Ogeron's just in the backfield, and Meathead, they just waiting, looking for their spots, and they see a little hole, and they get that extra push, and they're falling forward.
Tarpons bring in that power eye on 3rd and a long 1. Will they give it to the homecoming king here? Nope, giving it to Meathead up the middle. He's got the first down, I think. Yep, Golden Motors first down inside the 20. The Tarpons are now in the Absolute Fitness red zone. 7:56 and counting. South Lafourche draining that clock out. And if they could punch a touchdown in right here, we'll be feeling very good about themselves. This is just some old school Tarpon football right here, running in between the tackles, daring you to stop it.
Yeah, nothing fancy, 3 or 4 yards a pop.
Staying ahead of the chains, staying in that eye. Will they bootleg Carson out here? Maybe try with a little trick. So it's a toss. Meathead looking to turn the corner. Does turn the corner inside the 15. He's pushed out of bounds. That's a late hit. That goes uncalled. He got hammered out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. He was easily on the white there. I don't know what more would you need to get that call. But instead it'll be a gain of 8 and 2nd and 2. Tarpon's now at the 10-yard line. Dominic, was he on the white when that hit occurred, sir? You're closer than us. Yep, thought so too. Speaking of absolute fitness red zone for South Lafourche playing a 2nd and 2. Strong side of the field to the right. Ogeron rolls out to the right. Now cuts back in inside the 5. He's got a Golden Motors first down. Driving around the 4. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Tarpons. .706 and counting. The Tarpons are just grinding down the Gator defense. Now, can they punch it in?
Yeah, this is a drive that will break your back right here.
Still 4 yards left to get. 6:53 and counting. Tarpons in a power eye set. Ogeron gives it to Berg, and they'll push.
He's in.
And he's awfully close.
Goodness.
They'll mark him out or down at about the 1, but it is still only 2nd down. Tarpons will have to run a play before the hydration break.
Ball carrier, pick up a couple of yards.
Ball's at the 1. I'm giving it to Berg again. I'm giving it to Berg 3 times in a row if I have to. 6:23 and counting. The Tarpons lead 14-10, looking to add some insurance. Out of the eye. Ogeron keeps. Ogeron's in easy. Upstanding. No signal. Oh, they're going to say he's... Yeah, what are we waiting for? Carson Ogeron's 4 yards into the end zone, and the officials are ruling someone down at the 1-yard line. Give me a break. It is a touchdown for Carson Ogeron, but my goodness, we got to do better than that. Carson was in the end zone by 3 yards with the football, and the officials thought someone else had the ball. It is 20-10.
I mean, there was no fake. He kept the ball on the quarterback.
And was standing in the end zone with the ball. Tarpons are going for the swing and gate. I don't know that you need to do this right now.
Why?
And they don't convert. And now it'll be 20-10. I'm not sure about that one. 6:08 to go. The Tarpons add a 2-score advantage. We'll be back in 1 minute on ESPN 100.3. Well, the good news is that South Lafourche now leads 20-10. Maybe a little bit of overcoaching, though, perhaps, there on the swing and gate try. But it's okay. The Tarpons lead by 10. If they would have converted it, we would all be saying that is the greatest play ever. So that's the way it works.
No, I wouldn't.
Now, if you're the Tarpon defense, you don't want to give up any big plays. You want to make the Gators take some time. After this kickoff, we should have a heat and humidity break. It's the kick. Be caught at about the 15-yard line, working up the field. Cutting in towards the middle, making a man miss is number 1. Still going. Look out.
He's gone.
And for the second play in a row, the Tarpon special teams.
Oh, he's going to block him in the back. No.
Gives up a score.
Number one was
He's
score.
gone. Number one, Logan Marcel. The Tarpons had him corralled, and just when it felt like the Gators were running out of life, they run the kickoff back for a touchdown, and it's 20-16. That, my friend, cannot happen. Yep.
Now, what if they would go for two right here? They're not, but
I guess the only light at the end of the tunnel is a tired Gator defense should, in theory, have to come back out on the field. The extra point try is up, and it is good. The Gators have life. It's 20-17, 5:52 to go. Don't give up on this one yet. We'll be back in 1 minute on ESPN 100.3. The commercial, but Coach, we literally just said no more than a second ago, you got to make them use some time, and then they house the kickoff return just like that, get right back in it.
so look, our defense is playing great, but I think the biggest key to this game, I'm looking at it, the Tarpons this half ran 28 plays, the Gators 10, and two of them plays were punts. So actually they ran 8 plays compared to the Tarpons 28. That's ball control, going right at you, running that clock.
And now can you run the clock out here? Third quarter score, Terrebonne leads HL Bourgeois 28-7. That scoreboard update is brought to you by 3T Oil, home of the drive-through oil change. 5:52 to go in regulation. We thought after the touchdown that the air was coming out of the Gators' balloon, but the kickoff return has them right back in it. Now can the Tarpons drain the last 5:52 away? Gutierrez's kick is a good one towards the sidelines, caught by Carmardale working up the field. It should be Angelette, my bad. And he's down to the 21. Thanks, Coach. Tarpons will play first and 10 from the 21-yard line.
Across the 20-yard line.
5:45 to go. The Gators have 2 timeouts. So you figure you get 3-4 first downs. You could bleed a lot of this dry, but you got to get them.
Well, the last time Tarpons touched the ball on offense, 16 plays and 82 yards.
I'd like another order of that, please, sir.
You do that, victory.
Yep, you do that, you're in the game taking a knee. Ogeron is not on the field yet. Is it going to be a direct snap to Meathead? Ogeron's at receiver.
Yeah.
What type of trickeration do the Tarpons have? What are we doing here? Now Carson, no, he just didn't have his quarterback stuff ready, and Tarpons are going to be flagged. This is a disaster. False start before the play. Carson didn't have a piece of equipment or something, and it'll be 1st and 15. I don't know what that was. If it was a trick play, there was only one team fooled, and they're wearing blue. Got to try it again. Got to pick up 15 yards now. Ogeron will roll out to the right, and he's hit and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Gators have life again. When you make mistakes and let your opponent hang around, Diggs on the tackle. It'll be 2nd and long for the Tarpons, 5:30 and counting. Trips to the left side of the field. Ogeron gets the snap. We'll throw it to Petrie, who's hit, but makes the grab at the 20. So a nice gain, and Terrence gets slammed down, and no flag. Some fans are not happy. It'll bring up 3rd and 12. Terrence caught it, was getting driven backwards, and then got power drive to the turf. That one was a very risky play by the Gators. Bring up 3rd and 12 for the Tarpons. They've got to get to the 32-yard line. Huge snap for South Terrebonne here. Play clock down to 11. Game clock 4:30 and counting. Are they going to roll Ogeron out? Nope, straight drop. Under some pressure. Now he's going to roll out. He's going to step up, and he's going to go down at the 17-yard line. Tarpon's are going to have to win this game on defense, it looks like, because they're going to have to punt it away. Give up a kick return, go 3 and out. You're trying to find excuses to give this one back. And now, we talked about this throughout the whole broadcast. They have almost blocked punts all night. You got to get the ball to Coleman first and then hope he gets a good one away. Number 2, Brock Price is back deep to return. Waiting on the snap. It's there. They're coming. He gets it away. It's a wobbly kick, but it's a pretty good one. Fair caught. And did that ball hit the Gators? The Tarpons fall on it. That ball might have hit the Gators. What are the officials saying? There's no signal yet. The Tarpons think it's their ball, and it's going to the Gators at the 43-yard line. I will say this. The only reason why I think the ball maybe did not hit him
I know what you're going to say.
is because he didn't try to fall on it.
Yeah, he ran away from it.
But the Tarpon defense with 3:31 to go has to hold firm. The Gators in plus territory at the 43-yard line. Can we get one more stop? Blanchard in the gun. Hands it off. Picking through the line, not a whole lot. That's Diggs on the carry. Ricks on the carry. Got about a yard. We'll give them 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. 3:17 and counting.
Tarpon's got to be careful not get a penalty for extra yardage to give the Gators extra yards.
3:09 and counting. The Gators down 3. 2nd and 9. Blanchard joined in the backfield by Dupree. Strong side of the field to the right. Inside handoff. Across the 40, but still not a whole lot. And there's a little pushing and shoving going on at the end. That one got flagged, but it is getting a little chippy. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Gators. No idea why the clock is just not running right now. There is a flag. Paul just dropped the flag. There was a flag on the home sideline. And what's the call? Illegal formation on South Terrebonne, so that play's not going to count. We couldn't see the flag. The Tarpon football players were blocking us from the view, but the line judge down there did drop a flag, so the down will not count, and instead it'll be 2nd and 14.
That helps. Had to be some type of illegal formation.
Blanchard in the gun, strong side of the field to the right. He rolls out, throws to the sideline, and it's Jarvis with the interception. The Tarpon defense is going mad with 2:39 to go. South Lafourche is a first down or 2 away from maybe winning this one. Jarvis jumped the route all night long. The Tarpons have been flirting with it. They finally made the play. Attaboy, Jarvis. The Tarpons force a turnover. The Gators have 2 timeouts. You're 2 first downs away from winning this ball game. What a play by Jarvis, man. That was one heck of a catch.
It looked like Gators came back with that same play where they had the receiver wide open. This time, Tarpons were right there in great coverage.
Now you got to protect the ball. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. The Gators have 2 timeouts. Ogeron, inside give to Dardar, driving across the 45. He's got about 5. That's a really good first down gain. Coach Aaron Babin will call his 2nd timeout with 2:28 to go in the 4th quarter. Aaron is arguing that the clock ran a couple of seconds off. Aaron's got an argument. It should be about 2:31 added to the clock. Let's see if they'll win that argument. I was looking when he called timeout, and I looked at the clock. They ran about 2 or 3 seconds off. With Coach Babin calling his timeout there, they've got 1 left. If the Tarpons could get a first down here, you could really pretty much run it down to nothing at that point after.
Fish was talking to Truck on the sideline.
Yeah, they did add some time. This is the right thing, by the way. He called the timeout at about 2:32. They added about 4 seconds. But it won't matter how much time's on the clock if the Gators can't get a stop here. It's 2nd and 5. If the Tarpons get another push, they will really be sitting pretty. Ogeron keeps it. He's hit short, but he's still driving, and he might have a first down. That's all man right there from Carson Ogeron. He just drugged the defense across the 50. That's South Terrebonne's last time out. It'll be 3rd and awfully short. If the Tarpons convert here, the Gators will be out of chances to stop the clock, and the Tarpons will be able to bleed this pretty much dry.
Timeout, Gators.
So what do? Do you go with the sneak and push them forward? Do you give it to Bird? Do you give it to Meathead? Who's getting the carry here?
You go back and look. We kicked the extra point.
They need a touchdown to beat you.
Weekend. Please make some good decisions. Have fun and come home safe.
But you're also a yard away from being out of here too, so just got to take advantage. You figure if you get the first down, you'd be able to run 40, 40, 40. So that's 126. That's 2 minutes. The most the Gators would have, even if you punted, it would be 10, 15 seconds. That's assuming that, you run 40 off every time and you're snapping it at 1. But then the actual plays themselves take time too.
Yeah.
So, long story short, if you get this first down here, it's going to take a lot to beat you. 3rd and 1 from the Gator 49-yard line. The interception by Jarvis got us here.
Ogeron keeping.
The Gators are offsides. The Gators lined up offside. That's an easy call for Paul Trahan down there. I saw it live. They were lined up offside. Their nose guard was in the backfield. They'll give it to them for free. And that's just a boneheaded mistake. If I'm saying it before the play, you can't be even touching helmets with the center. That's an easy call for the officials. And it's a Golden Motors first down, and now the Gators are in a bind. If you're the Tarpons, you hold on to the football, you stay in bounds, and you're going to be giving them the ball back with just about nothing. And if you get another first down, you're taking a knee. What a big mistake there.
Yeah, you can almost you can't take a knee and run it out, but it would be close.
Ogeron, inside handoff to Dordar. The only thing that matters now is holding on to the ball, and he does. The play clock will start with the clock running 2:14. The next snap will be with about 1:40 or so left. .158 and counting. There's still 22 seconds left on the play clock. Tarpons can milk this thing pretty much all the way down. You might have to do something on 4th down, maybe to just take a snap and run around for a while. But you also got to snap it at 1. Play clock down to 4. Oh, he nearly fumbled the snap. It's a toss to Meathead. He's going to get outside, and he's going to stay in bounds. Barely. The clock will continue to run. 1:22 and counting. They're going – Brian, this game's over. With the way they're resetting the play clock, this game's over. The next snap will be inside of 40 seconds, and this game is over.
3rd and 3.
It's not like the NFL where the play clock, automatically right after the play resets, it takes 3 or 4 seconds. And the Tarpons' next snap Right now, if I'm BJ Young, I'm taking a delay of game right here, and then I'm taking a knee, and this game will be over. There's 46 seconds left on the clock. The play clock still has 5 left on it. If I'm BJ, I'm taking a delay of game, or he'll call a timeout with 38, and then you don't have to run a play here. You could take a knee, and the game will be over. So we think we're one victory formation snap away from the Tarpons winning on homecoming and getting the 3-1.
A.D. White 50-7.
Chris Bergeron told me at the middle school, not the middle school, at the junior varsity game, he said, Woodlawn's still good, yeah, but they ain't got Ricky Collins anymore.
Yep.
And sure enough.
Well, the Tarpons coming out that last play, they almost bobbled a snap and run a toss play.
Almost got out of bounds, almost fumbled the snap. But you're now just one snap away from getting to 3-1 and surpassing your win total of last year on September 22nd.
Yep, victory formation.
Bergeron will get in the victory formation. And, baby, this game's over. There's the knee. South Lafourche is going to get a 20-17 homecoming win. Get to 1-0 in district play. Brian, let's do this. Let's take a 2-minute break. When we get back, we'll recap this one. South Lafourche getting a homecoming win over the Gators. We'll be back in 2 minutes to wrap it all up on ESPN 100.3.
All of our homecoming court, and everybody.
And for our listeners on Bayou Sports, we're going to give our Billy Joe Brune, Edison Schwess Offshore Bay Tie of the Game Award. Tonight, it goes to Landon Meathead Dardar, running hard between the tackles throughout the game. And our player of the game, got to be Jarvis with the game-winning interception for the Tarpons to improve to 3-1. South Lafourche gets the win. Thanks so much to everyone for watching. Good night, everybody. Have a blessed night.